Good morning, guys. All right. You might be able to hear the fan in the background. So let's just live with that if we can. We have some names to share this morning. We also have a setup of the NQ. It is a little interesting here as it cracked the 96. Got held and protected by this decent trend line that we have from some prior lows, actually, like way back in prior lows. If I could date the Ray tool, I would. And a protection of the 243 on trend right here. And then, of course, this is all just protectionary moves here. Nice little fractals, though. You've got your one leg, two leg, three leg down. And so we're very close to the opening. And get survival here in Ruby. And the 243 can't hold. We trace to the trend, breaks the trend, it'll hit the 243, and that will be the tell right there. 243 breaks, we always have an issue. All right, so you can see how close it is, though, to the 243. It's a massive EMA, so we know that this precipitous fall is a pretty big deal in the market. The 96 not holding up here, which it really took another valiant move to do this for a pretty long time. And then, of course, it just couldn't survive. And then you have that atom left. Okay, that's that piece right there. So there's barely a break. You have one ledge break to give people a pause and rest before the rest of it just took its way down. Okay, so I hope I'm going to be able to do is run you through the names that we have selected for the week. We have a very shallow list actually this week. I think we were able to get it up to 5 names. Hold on just a moment. Let me show you what we've got. Let me bring that guy down. Let's make sure you guys are still seeing what I'm seeing. Hold up. Okay, as long as you get to see a decent window, like my everything is still up here. Okay, if you'll notice, so a little pro tip of mine, once you're over at CNBC, you can actually concatenate a list of tickers. You'll see up above, and this will be in our discussion group as well over at YouTube, is that we built out the quotes, and we are including Nike, NKE, Whole Foods, WFM, Interactive Corporation, IAC. We are going to follow up with Elf Beauty, ELF, and Williams Sonoma on some kind of feel-good news about West Elm. So that's really it. We haven't named the basket yet. We were looking for debate plays based on location. I couldn't really find anything there. Based on endowment to the university, I couldn't really find anything there. So a lot of it just had to do with kind of walking around. We have Nike does earnings, so that was something that was laid out early when we started talking about the names that we liked, and a lot of money actually going into food delivery. So I added the Whole Foods. Let me see here. Yeah, so it's just a very shallow little basket. I mean, why not? We had what 14,000 in the market last week, and we generated. Hold on, just go back over to the basket. Probably should have shown you that before I got into all this week. Oh, I've shown you our great wins. All right, so come back over to Hangout. I'm still trying to figure out a decent way to showcase the basket, but this is what we did on the basket. The reason that you see the strike throughs are these. I'm trying to make some ways of reading the condition of price when we chose this particular basket. Remember, this was a basket based on the north, south, east, west viewpoint, and then we added the basket. We basically kind of layered other names onto the basket based on the way that we look at things, the way that we look at news, how we put two and two together. And so that's why you see strike throughs. If you can imagine, all these names were in Ruby short, clearly. So we benefited from the market responding very well to what we think was FOMC caution. So as soon as the caution was lifted, then of course the stocks had a place to go to the upside, plenty of room actually to move to the upside, to the tune of 14.35% on the basket. We for 14,000. So we had 14 names. Some of these names we did not own for the full 2 weeks, which is fine. It's all these numbers are related back to the 3 o'clock demanded exit. We parachute out at Friday at 3 o'clock no matter what. And we didn't even go in to manage these trades. This was a buy-in at Monday, 10 o'clock candle high, and a forced sell at the 3 o'clock low on Friday. It's a very demanding ritual, very over-disciplined. In the beginning, we're not managing price movement whatsoever. We're just literally getting in, holding on, reading the news, looking at the fundamentals, following the social sentiment, all the things that I always talk about, and that's it. And so that's where we're at. This week, however, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right now we would only have $5,000 in per. And I don't know if I can add another name before 10 o'clock. It is not usually how we do it. We try to have the basket in place really like Saturday so that Sunday we can do all of our research and maybe even add one additional name as a result of doing the research. So this week was a little funny. All right, let's go back to our CNBC. CNBC lets you do 10 tickers at a time. Now they do have a refresh rate, which is kind of bizarre, and sometimes you'll lose your page. But it's a nice way, a little different from the FinViz view of things. I thought you guys would enjoy seeing the lineup in this way. It gives you extended hours. It gives you the 52-week range, if there is one. What's changed? What's unchanged? What's, how is the market? What's the leading edge into the open? And that sort of thing. So we like that. But we'll move back over to the NQ. Remember, this is a 1-minute chart. Now that you know kind of what the setup is and what our problems are and coming into the open, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and zoom in nicely, because now you guys know exactly what these lines are all about, I hope. Right. So we'll come back over here so that you have an idea. There's that trend line. You get it a little better there. There's the trend line. So of course we're highlighting the fact that the trend picked up there, and the 243 is right below it. Riding up trend, it's being hoovered up to the bottom base of Ruby right here. And then now we should start to see at 9:24, 6 minutes to the open. And that is what's happening with the NQ. And we'll keep that up for the open. You know that I've been monitoring Cheddar a little bit. So let me grab this little guy here and throw this, go ahead and X out of that. And see, where should we put it? No, I don't know where to put it. I'll put it in the basket, that's right. So basket, there we go. So now it's there forevermore. Go back over to Cheddar. And Cheddar still is not live. I have one more tweet. Live on Periscope. Here they are. All right, so before I hit the button, I am going to put my earbuds in. But make sure that you follow Cheddar at Cheddar. Make sure that you go to cheddar.com. Let me get my earbuds in. There we go for the chart. It's good to see the chart, right? Yeah. Okay. Those are cool here. Right. And remember, I'm not sitting on the money.net. The money.net's in the big house. And I need to get earbuds. Okay. Feel a little bit better about doing the Excel. I'll pretty it up, and also reading about how to build our own charts and pie charts and graphs. So I hope that we'll get it to be where it's really pretty for the Twitter. And then in the discussion group, we can get the Excel page up, or the Google Doc. Everybody's going in? You guys are probably getting fanned out a little bit here. Sorry about that. I don't know exactly why that happens, but we should be able to stay pretty stable until let's see who they're going to have on. So Vroom, VROOM. Snapchat unveils new hardware, which we talked about over the weekend. They have Distractify, New York Life, D1, PwC, and the Young Turks. It's crazy that the Young Turks, because we hang out over at Fire Talk, where they have a live outreach there. All right, so Vroom had been in the news. It's interesting that they're going to be bringing up the CEO. All right, so let me go ahead and get out of. I know that you guys can't hear anything, but what I'll do is I'll go ahead and stop screen sharing. This is when I wish that I could switch between the screens and keep the one screen up for you guys, but I can't do that. So I don't. All right, so 2 minutes, 19 seconds. Of course, the debate is this evening. Once again, I'm monitoring Cheddar, and I cannot hear. Guggenheim Total Return Bond ETF, it's to ARCA, ARCA, is opening up the MISC. ARCA, ARCA. And they're shaking, they're clapping their hands. If I could get some volume up, that would be great. story is the Snapchat Snap story. All right, let's walk through how things are looking for our buying power. Let's see if we can get rid of some of this noise here. And, so really the rebrand for Snapchat to Snap. Talking about the prices of the spectacle. And the pricing. Okay, so I'll be monitoring Cheddar. Make sure you guys follow over there. You'll be seeing more information about the basket in the discussion area. I want to say thank you very much for stopping by, and I'll talk to you for the midday. Bye.